What's up, everybody? You're listening to another episode of the SignatureCAST, where we talk bodybuilding, business, and everything in between. To my right, a very special guest is in the Signature Fitness studio, Jdawg on Instagram, all the way from Animal Pack. Jason is here. Thank you so much for coming today. I know we had a tasting out there, and now I snagged you. How you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic after hearing all the awesome feedback that we got on that tasting that you just said.
So now, this will be coming out in about 2 weeks. Will the public know what it is by then?
Can't leak it yet.
Oh, man, I was hoping to get the inside scoop for you guys.
Only if someone leaks it.
Okay, well, maybe somebody will leak it. But I know Animal's up to some very exciting new products coming your way, because I got my sources, ladies and gentlemen. I got my sources. But Jay, thank you so much for coming on today. I have a lot of things I want to pick your brain about, but first and foremost, what do you do at Animal? Because I know I've heard things are kind of, roles are changing in exciting ways. So what is your current position at Animal, and how long have you been working for them?
Well, first off, thank you, Will, for having me on.
Of course.
I really appreciate it. In regards to Animal, I've been there, I'm afraid to say it, I've been there 20 years.
Wow. So this is year 20.
So this is purely like straight out of college.
Wow.
Yeah, year 20.
Wow, very cool. So
Long
first like big boy job.
Yes.
Wow, very cool. And I'm assuming now married, kids, the whole shindig, all under the Animal brand.
Under the Animal brand, yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Very cool. And what do you do there currently?
So currently, I am leading our brand experience.
Okay.
And that's after having led product development for 20 years.
Wow. So big step in an interesting direction.
It really is.
Because I know the first time I had visited the office, you were having me try some new samples of things. This is before the chews came out, I think it was.
Yep.
Right. So guys, try out those pre-workout chews. And we also have right now there's 2 chews right now, or just one?
So we're actually up to 3 chews.
Oh, 3. Okay.
There's creatine.
Oh, that's right. The creatine chews. Yep.
First one, energy, and recovery.
Oh, that's right. The recovery. I forgot about those. But yeah, I remember the first time I came by, we were trying those out, and that was super exciting. But so switching from product development, which I could pick your brain about a million times over, and now you said brand experience. Is that what you said?
Brand experience.
Brand experience. So what does that kind of entail?
So brand experience is everything from running events, how we show up online, to community. We want to build a major community, and that's actually one of the first things I did at Animal while I was doing product development was running our Animal forum, which in its day was massive. It was like one of the first forums in our industry, which was groundbreaking for us.
Especially about like 10, 15 years ago, forums were like the place where everyone went to get their info on all things fitness and bodybuilding. And obviously it's kind of moved towards social media based, Instagram, but it was huge back then for sure.
And for those of you who might not know what a forum is, right? Because
that's right. Some of them may not know.
You might not know, but if you're familiar with something called Reddit, I would say Reddit is probably the closest thing to what the forums were in 10 years ago.
Yeah, and even myself, I still am a part of a lot of car forums for like off-roading for my vehicle. And it feels very nostalgic when I log in and I'm trying to search different things, and you're going through all these different, catalogs of discussions, and it's great. But that's very cool. And I know Animal is trying to change things moving on now and bring more people to the brand and kind of be more broad in the athletes that they represent and stuff like that. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. To speak on that, we're always going to stay true to strength training and bodybuilding. Like, that's our roots. But what we learned along the way is, physique-wise, that is like how we want to show up on social media and on the website. But one thing that we really tapped into from talking to our customers is the mindset of people that train all different types of strength sports. It's amazing. Like, when you really tap into it, you can learn a lot from people and what drives them to succeed in life overall. And we want to tap into that side as well.
I know my loyal listeners at home are going to hate me saying this, but I bring it up almost every podcast. And it's that if everyone were to do something at 110%, at least once in their life physically, right, I think the world will be a better place because you unlock a certain place in your brain and realize what it takes to achieve, a certain level of, I don't want to say greatness, but something that you've really been striving towards, right? And you learn to understand people better and see what it's like to succeed at many different avenues. And I think it's very eye-opening for people. We're going to switch a little bit because I'm super, super excited because I think it's about 10 weeks now, maybe, right? We are going back officially, ladies and gentlemen. The Animal Cage is back at the Arnold Classic. Now, Jay, how many animal cages did you experience? Wow. Because if you've been there for 20 years...
I would say 20 years minus the
last 3, was it?
So probably 17.
So 17 cages.
Yeah,
wow.
that's a lot.
That's really exciting. I know as a fan, fan of the brand, I've talked about this many times. When Gary was here, G6, for any of you guys who are listening, I think it's a brand because for a lot of people, it was their first shirt. It was their first product. So I know the first thing that I ever bought was Optimum Nutrition Whey, Vitamin Shop brand creatine, and Animal Pack. That was my first trip ever to Vitamin Shop. That was like that was like the stack, right? At the time, I was like, "Oh, I got the protein and the creatine. And like this can of magical goodness, right?" And so it's so great to see that they're finally coming back to the Arnold because the cage for a lot of people represents the Super Bowl kind of the year, yes. And if you could remember right now off the top of your head, probably your what moment over the years of the cage sticks out to you the most? A lift or something in specific?
I mean, there's many, but I would have to say the one that stood out to me is the one where Rob Hall and Steve, and I forget his last name. So
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Forsaken Warrior, his name was.
Forsaken Warrior on Instagram at the time. That back and forth for 600 pounds, we never realized it would go to like 60 reps. 600 pounds for 60 reps. It lasted an hour and a half, maybe longer.
I believe that was the year before Steph started working for Animal. And we were outside the cage watching. And I know Rob went to the hospital and he got rhabdomyolysis after that. Yes. Right? Because he had so much muscle breakdown. Because guys, if you haven't seen, I think that's I want to say that was 2019 or 2018. 2018. Yep. Go back. I'm sure it's on their YouTube channel. Yes. And watch that footage. These two giants of men did not stop, as Jdawg said, for about an hour and a half. You remember like the hands going up to the video cameras, just blood torn up. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. Nuts. Yeah, that's hard to top.
Like just the heart of those two individuals.
Yeah.
Like seeing that, they did not want to give up. And to me, that's the animal mindset. Like you're going to last for as long as you can. You're not going to give up. And those two,
I think
it's ingrained in my brain forever.
Oh, 100%. I think it's tough to have a favorite, but I think one of the most impressive was watching Dan Green do 900 pounds conventional beltless. That was crazy. Because, Dan Green has obviously been an animal athlete for years. He really, I think, pushed the brand forward pretty far. And to see him do that lift was just absolutely incredible.
Beltless.
Beltless, right? Too. Totally crazy.
Just the pure core strength that you have to be able to do that it's
absolutely
incredible.
Nuts. So we're excited. We're going to be back at the Animal Cage this year at the Arnold Classic, right? And I know then you guys are going to be doing FIBO a couple weeks later.
Yes.
Right? So that's super exciting because the brand's getting out there.
We're going to have the cage there. It'll be a little different.
Oh, really? Okay.
Arnold, but we want to bring the cage to Europe, which will be in Germany. So we're going to stay tuned because we will start to post about it as well. But expect a different experience than the cage in the U.S.
Sure.
I think it'll be more training-led. We'll have some really cool athletes taking people through training sessions. We'll involve people a little bit differently.
Very interesting. Yeah. So for the people listening at home, let's just give them a little bit of history behind the brand. And I'm gonna, and if you don't remember, don't worry, I have no idea. I'm gonna just quiz you. Not a quiz, but more of a. So when did Universal Nutrition first start?
So Universal Nutrition, the company itself, started in 1977.
1977, and then I know it wasn't until a few years later that the animal sector, we'll call it, came to be. Correct?
So what happened in 1983? A product was born. So the brand, not yet, but the product Animal Pack was born in 1983.
Oh, so I see. I didn't know that. So it was essentially Universal's Animal Pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still under Universal Animal Pack.
Yeah. And then just through the years, obviously, it just grew and grew and grew. But I know one of the things, at least for a fan, first was, the Frank McGrath era, we'll call it, right? You remember all those photo shoots, the black and white?
The Journey.
Yeah.
Journey campaign.
That stuff was absolutely incredible. I still see that stuff being put into new mashups of bodybuilding motivation on YouTube and all that. It still gets brought up all the time. It's such, and I hate to sound cheesy, it's such an iconic, the reason why I'm saying it's cheesy, this was their iconic, right? And it has lasted the test of time. People see that footage, and something about it, just you connect with it, and it becomes something you'll never forget. Maybe it's the grittiness or the black and white or the fact that he's, kind of getting out of bed and getting ready for his day. During that time, what was the direction that the company was going? Was it, let's get to the hardcore basis and it's just kind of trying to grow that at that time?
Yeah, so at that time, the key was focusing in on one thing, and the one thing was giving a true brand experience through the emotional connection that you see via an image. So what was so important to us is the image of how we showed up. And we didn't want to be like every other supplement company at the time, which was just, hey, here's a product, it increases your muscle mass 700%. That's kind of silly, making these crazy claims. And what we wanted to do is, hey, we know we put out great supplements, but we want to connect to the consumer in a deeper way. And that was through the motivational images, words that we used. We also connected it to journals and training programs, and just we wanted to give back and show consumers, here's the way of how you actually do it. Here's the mindset, and here's how you do it.
I think that's something that was different, especially for the time it was happening. Is like you said, most companies were like, use super this blank 5,000 because you'll get huge, and it was like, no, let's educate you. And let's get you eating better and now supplementing with these supplements. Yeah. And, you'll find exciting, advances in your physique because of that.
Because you're doing the right thing, and then the supplements can play a role when you're doing all this other stuff. Right?
Exactly. So now you're stepping back, you being for almost 20 years in product development, how have things changed? Because I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, let's say about let's say early 2000s, everything was just get huge, get huge, get huge. And now I feel like it's moving more towards maybe a health basis. And so if you could touch on that, because I know there's also some new things happening with the Universal brand. So how have things changed over the past, let's say 20 years in terms of the actual trends of of the products that people want to consume?
Such a great question. So what I see in our industry is that it's not that bodybuilding, powerlifting, and strength sports are shrinking. It's actually the whole entirety of the industry is just massively expanding to include active wellness and fitness. So think of it maybe here our industry was this little tiny piece, and then it just expanded to include everyone who wants to train. There's so many people that just want to train these days. So strength and bodybuilding is bigger than ever, but alongside it, this massive influx of people just interested in improving their health and wellness has come along for the ride. So for Animal, we have that brand that's going to be ensuring it takes care of the needs of the strength athletes, the bodybuilders, and expanding a little bit beyond that. But then on Universal side, we have products that are going to be dedicated for just people who want to get healthy and live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, and I noticed that even before, you guys started to do this rebranding of Universal, I always enjoyed that there was, more singular products. I could get, strictly carnitine and strictly creatine and strictly this and strictly that versus, a formulated product. So it definitely played towards that, but I remember when, I know it's not I don't remember the new name, but when Alpha F, I think it was called at the time, came out, like that was a big deal. Is you're now doing a female, a vitamin, helping with their, hormone balance and all those types of things. So I think it's done nothing but expand for the better, but I really like the way you put that, because honestly, that completely changed my mind of thinking in this exact moment. I always used to think like, yeah, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're right. It's just becoming bigger and bigger because more people are going under the fitness envelope.
It's more accessible too nowadays with gyms like Signature and everyone just providing like a really good atmosphere for anyone who has the strength training goals, but also for people just want to be healthy in general. I think, especially after our experience with COVID, it's like, hey, let's take care of our health. Let's do the best we can to make sure that we're living a healthy lifestyle. And I think it just exploded back after we went through that experience.
100%. So we're going to take a quick turn because I know we got to wrap up. You got to get out there and do get a little pump going. But I have two last questions for you. Number one is a selfish one. So you've been to a lot of gyms, Jason. How does Signature, and be honest, how does it compare to others? Because I like to think, and you can disagree, we're very unique in certain things that we offer. But unbiased opinion.
Will's really putting me on the spot.
Oh, right on the spot.
Well, I have to say, I haven't trained yet in the
This
gym.
is your first time?
So this is actually my
You're popping your signature cherry right now?
I am.
Wow.
I have to say, when I drove up and was just overwhelmed by trying to find parking.
Like, yeah.
That was a sign that, wow, this gym must be like super packed.
Yeah,
And then I stepped inside and I'm like, oh my God. Like you walk up and there's this awesome juice bar. There's a little like relaxation area. And then you walk into the gym and it's massive.
It's huge.
They have some of the most incredible equipment I've ever seen and just lots of it.
Well, so here's what we'll do. We'll table this question because you have to come back on, and I think we're gonna have to get Rudy on with you. We might even have to get Jad on. Jad, if you're listening, I got multiple chairs. Okay, we'll fit you on here. But I'm really excited for you to get a workout, and please check out our strength conditioning area. I know you got to do some deadlifts, so you'll definitely want to do those in there. And for anybody listening who has been, there's a big picture of Dan Green, specifically because of this company, and that's why it's up on the wall there. But last question for the people at home. Give me something. I know you can't tell me what the product is, but something exciting. What are some ideas that are brewing? Maybe, a little taste of something. What can we expect on the horizon, let's say for the next 6 months at Animal?
Well,
you don't have to give specifics, but maybe, a little.
See how I can dance around it?
Yeah, dance around it. Jad's not listening.
So the one that we tested here, let's just say that it's good for strength trainers and people who are just active and take care of their health and nutrition.
Okay.
So this product's going to be pretty diverse. It's going to taste awesome. I'll stop there.
Okay.
So that's coming in end of January.
So
stay tuned. We'll start to tease it.
That's product wise. Now, what about, and I don't even know if there's anything, is there anything exciting maybe event wise or something? I'm prying. I'm trying to poke the bear right now. See if I'm doing this for you guys. This isn't for me.
We also have, before I jump to events, we also have gear. We're going to be really focused on putting out fresh gear.
Oh,
for
nice.
2024. So that's upcoming. Product-wise, we're going to be focused on chews. Our chews are doing really well because of how versatile they are and how power-packed they are. So you're going to see different flavors, maybe some new formulas, stuff like that. And can't go too much into Q3 and 4, but some exciting stuff. And then event-wise, we want to get out, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the Animal Barbell Club, but the goal is
I heard of the Animal Barbell?
The goal is
I have a few T-shirts from back in the day. But wow, so it is coming back. Very exciting. So guys, if you've never heard of an Animal Barbell Club, essentially they pick a gym and they, everybody shows up, they get a great lift in, everybody gets a t-shirt, they all become part of an animal family. And it's a very, for me, it was a very memorable event. That's actually the first time that Steph was introduced to the brand, was at an Animal Barbell Club.
Yeah.
So very cool. Well, Jay, I really appreciate you coming on today. I know you got to get out there and work out. I think what you guys are doing at Animal is absolutely amazing. And, you're paving the way or you have and are continuing to pave the way for a lot of companies, just with the community and, innovating your products and all that type of stuff. So I'm super excited for you to get out on the Signature floor and experience everything. So once again, thank you so much for coming on. And we're going to have you back. You, Rudy, Jack, the whole team. I'll fit 10.
I'm going to take Will up on that.
I'll fit 10 chairs if I have to. I'll buy some more mics. We'll make it happen.
Cameras all over.
100%. Guys, that's another episode of the SignatureCAST where we talk bodybuilding, business, and everything in between. Have a wonderful time. We'll see you later.